Have you ever considered how lucky you are to have a loving family, caring friends, but most of all, a place where you can call home? It's amazing the things that we so easily take for granted. We don't truly appreciate them until they're taken away. In the words of Lillian Collar, a worker at the South Carolina Department of Social Services, foster care is temporary care for children who are having problems at home. Foster children leave their houses and families to go into foster homes. Did you know that as of 2012, 54% of foster children in the U.S. stay in care for a year or more? Imagine not living with your loved ones for that long. However, this is only the beginning. Most of the 500,000 children in America's foster care system carry their belongings in garbage bags. Think about how embarrassing this must be for them. I first heard about this when my mother, who worked in the foster agency, told me a story about her encounter with this problem. She will tell you this story now.
So after I graduated from college, I got a job as a caseworker for a private foster care agency. And my responsibilities included looking after children who were in foster care, monitoring them, monitoring the foster parents, having visits at the foster home, being in touch with their biological parents, trying to help them get visits with their children and also work with them to do things that they needed to do to be reunited with their children. And in some cases, when parents weren't able to do that, I worked towards getting the foster children adopted, sometimes in the foster homes that they were residing in. And on one day or evening, I believe, it was at night, and for some reason I only did this once, and which is probably why I remember it so clearly. It wasn't something that I had gotten used to. I was joining a caseworker that worked for this New York City. I was working in New York City, but I was at a private agency, and she worked for a city agency, and their job was often to take children and put them in foster care, sometimes taking them from their homes and putting them in foster care. But on this one occasion, it was taking a foster child who was in one foster home. And I don't remember the circumstances, but they needed to leave that foster home. And they were going to be placed in a foster home that I was working with. So I went and joined the caseworker, and we went to pick up this little boy, and he was all by himself, and all he had was a garbage bag filled with all his things. And all these years later, I still remember that, and it still almost makes me cry, that this little boy had nobody, and he didn't even have a bag of his own to put his belongings in. And so that's why this is a very good project, and I hope you consider donating some bags or backpacks to be distributed to children so they can have something of their own and not need to transport their things in a garbage bag. Thank you.
I know I'm ready to help the foster children, and I hope you are too.